For decades, the social contract of a top-tier MBA was simple. You write a massive check for tuition, acquire a prestigious brand on your resume, and walk straight into a high-paying role in consulting or technology. But when the broader economy shifts, that seamless transition from the classroom to the corner office stalls. Take the Harvard Business School class of 2024. 3 months after graduation, 23% of their job-seeking graduates had not accepted a job offer. And MIT Sloan's class of 2024 reported a nearly identical gap in acceptances on the exact same timeline. When graduates from the world's most selective programs are sitting on the bench after a $250,000 investment, we have to look at whether the degree has lost its value, or if the marketing brochures are hiding a more complex reality. Business schools publish annual employment reports that lean heavily on a specific cutoff, tracking outcomes exactly 3 months post-graduation. This chart shows a critical gap between getting an offer and actually taking one. For MIT Sloan's class of 2024, 85.1% of students received an offer, but only 77.2% accepted one. These reports follow strict industry rules. If a student accepts a job but forgets to report the exact date to their career office, they fall out of the accepted column and are classified as not reported by the 3-month deadline. Schools also calculate these percentages using a seeking employment denominator. By explicitly excluding students who are company-sponsored, starting a business, or pausing their search, the total pool shrinks, and the final success percentage mathematically increases. So a headline claiming a large minority of MBAs are jobless ignores the reality of delayed hiring timelines. Many candidates are still interviewing or weighing options. Their timelines are simply stretching past the rigid PR cutoff. Even if the outcomes eventually arrive, the financial drain required to enter these programs begins years before the first class. Simply applying requires taking the GMAT, the standard business school entrance exam, which costs at least $275 in the US. Add in application fees that cluster around $250 to $275 for every single school, and a candidate applying broadly easily spends over $1,000 before they are even admitted. Once on campus, students face a structural cost mismatch. Universities publish living budgets for 9 months of classes, but landlords require 12-month residential leases. Looking at the official numbers, Harvard Business School and the Wharton School both publish single-year student budgets exceeding $126,000 to $132,000. Multiplying that across 2 years means an elite MBA is often a $250,000 to $270,000 upfront bet. That total completely excludes the interest on student loans and the salary you forfeit by leaving the workforce. Graduating into the 2026 labor market means facing employers who are actively rejecting the hyper-aggressive hiring patterns of the post-COVID era. In February 2026, the U.S. unemployment rate sat at 4.4%. While not a crisis by historical standards, it indicates a cooler, highly selective environment for white-collar roles. At the same time, corporate recruiters are shifting their criteria. Familiarity with general management theory is no longer enough to secure a premium salary. Survey data from the Graduate Management Admission Council, the organization that administers the GMAT, shows employers now explicitly prioritize candidates who possess AI-enabled skill sets and know how to integrate AI tools into daily corporate workflows. If a candidate relies entirely on the historical prestige of an MBA brand without proving they can translate that management knowledge into AI-fluent execution, they lose their leverage in this market. Despite the market cooling, specific groups of professionals still extract massive returns from these programs. For career switchers, people using the degree to move entirely into a new industry, the financial jump is real. The Kellogg School of Management's class of 2024 reported a median base salary of $170,000, exactly double their reported pre-MBA median of $85,000. These candidates rely heavily on school-facilitated networking. Institutional pipelines allow students to secure summer internships and convert those specific roles directly into full-time return offers. Then there are the graduates purposefully skipping the corporate job market. 10% of MIT Sloan's 2024 class And roughly 150 Harvard Business School graduates in 2025 bypassed standard employment altogether to launch their own startups. An MBA is no longer a passive credential that automatically prints job offers. It acts as a highly effective, expensive strategic platform for those who know exactly how to use its recruiting channels and network. The dynamics of higher education have shifted. The candidate, rather than the university, now bears the absolute market and timing risk of a $250,000 bet. Navigating that level of financial risk requires strict economic strategy, which is exactly where today's sponsor name, steps in to help you map your long-term career investments. To keep exploring the true economics of higher education and career building, hit the subscribe button and let us know in the comments if you think the modern MBA is still worth the price tag.